below 2,000, baby. Eden Palms, Monterey Road, I'm a project baby. Eagles Drive, we was at Oak Grove, barely graduated. We got Tasha, Molly, Bodie, Corbett, stay on at the haters.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host, Ya. We hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today's going to be an even better episode. I got the whole crew with me. Everybody's in the house today. And, of course, Week 8 is right around the corner. Week 1 of the NBA season just got wrapped up. So, of course, we got our thoughts on that. So, before we jump into those topics, temperature check. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling?
Feeling good, man. Miami Heat's not doing good, man. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not happy with my team.
Seattle, we got a big game this week, man. We got the Giants. It's going to be a fun game. Lakers, 0-3. I didn't want to speak about that, but we'll get into that.
Oh, we're going to speak about the Lakers today, man.
Hey, I promise
I didn't even realize, man. They're 0-3. Miami's 1-3. Sheesh, man. Two teams are struggling right now.
I'd be, man, if you want to swap point guards, you know what I'm saying? Trash.
Yeah, I'd actually take Westbrook. So
I think Lowry's in our system.
Have Lowry, man. Be my guest. I'll even throw in Duncan Robinson for shooting.
Hey, we need shooting. Toss me.
Duncan Robinson's turning into the new THT, man. It's crazy when you think about it.
Man, don't even speak about THT. You guys see how
he can't even get minutes on the chest.
Yo, bro, the guy from his first season on the Lakers, it felt like this guy gained like 27 pounds, like 30 pounds. And
he's just getting older by the minute.
Bro, he went from 21 to 28 in 2 seasons. That is impossible, man. But
that's crazy.
Let's get this thing rolling, man. Come on.
Let's get it. Of course, we're going to kick things off with the very first game that's going to kick off Week 8 for us. We have an interesting matchup here on Thursday night compared to the recent weeks. The Baltimore Ravens are on the road playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers need this one desperately.
For this matchup, like, neither offenses have been particularly great, but one offense in particular has been really, really bad, and that's the Buccaneers. And usually, like, at least if you have a bad offense, maybe you can look towards your defense, and defensively they haven't been good. We've seen them get picked apart by Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky, and then last week they gave up points PJ Walker. I mean, like, I'm gonna go with Lamar on this just because he's playing a defense that just doesn't look good right now, and Tampa Bay has not given me a reason to pick them, and I don't feel confident whatsoever in picking them, so I'm gonna go with the Ravens in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens on this one. That Tampa Bay defense for me is just, I'm not gonna lie to you, it hasn't looked well. Listen, TB12 is my guy, you know what I'm saying? Forever the GOAT, 7 rings like Tom Brady. But this offense, man, it's not clicking. This defense is not clicking. I feel like the last couple of weeks, the Ravens defense they've been stepping up. They've been making some stops. They've been making some key plays. So it's been looking better, but I hope Lamar tomorrow, Thursday night, that offense gets clicking. Trust the run game. Duvernay and Bateman, you know, they can make some big plays against these horrible cornerbacks that Tampa Bay has. And you can't forget about Mark Andrews. So hopefully Greg Roman and Lamar get on the same page. They start clicking, and I got the Ravens winning.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to go against both of you guys this week. I'm going with the Buccaneers, even though they've looked awful these last couple of weeks, of course, losing to the Steelers and losing to the Panthers. I just feel like the Ravens haven't shown me anything better. Lamar Jackson hasn't been playing great these last 4 weeks. He started off the year hot for those first 3 games, you know, scoring 3-4 touchdowns a game, but he's cooled off ever since. And he only got 16 passing attempts last game, and they barely got a win at home against the Cleveland Browns. I feel like Tampa Bay coming back home, you know, these last couple of games have been on the road, so, you know, they're going to be at home and, you know, with their fans rallying for them. And I feel like Tom Brady will put it all together this week. Of course, I know the whole entire team is frustrated, but everything starts with him. He's the leader of that team, so I know he's going to get his guys ready to go. I'm not too sure about Mike Evans' status this week, but I know he's dealing with an ankle injury. But regardless, I feel like he'll suit up, and Chris Godwin's still there. They're gonna try to get Lenny the ball so they can, you know, of course he has to be impactful in this game. But it's crazy. Vegas got the Ravens as the favorites right now, you know, -1.5. Even though like both teams haven't been playing great, but it just goes to show how, you know, confident they are in the Ravens. You know, just giving them -1.5. So it could really go either way. But I'm going to the Buccaneers in this one. We'll go ahead and move on to our next game. I know nobody's waking up for this one because this is a London game. The Denver Broncos are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think this should be like a one sentence, just go on.
I agree.
I'm going to go to the Jaguars.
I'm going to go to the Jaguars.
Like, I'm not going to give my reasoning. The Broncos are a terrible team.
Jaguars. Nathaniel Hackett. It's just plain and simple. quick.
And one thing I want to say is, right, with Hackett, right, and Russell Wilson. Wilson never threw the ball more than 30 times. But with Brian Rippon the other day, he let him throw the ball 40 times. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know, man. The coach to me is just, it makes zero sense.
Maybe it's a good thing they don't let Russ cook. I mean, Pete Carroll was on something.
Hey, that too. But at the same time, if I'm gonna pay a guy $245 million, I'm gonna let him throw the ball 50 times, see what happens. Simple, But
I mean, well, to speak a little bit about the Broncos, I'm hearing rumors they're trying to get rid of Jerry Jeudy. They're shopping him before the trade deadline. So
I'm hearing a little maybe to the Packers.
I mean, the Packers are interested for someone on a rookie contract, which
I'm really hearing.
I heard Baltimore though.
Baltimore,
I heard. Giants.
What's ironic is those two teams never trade for a wide receiver. So
hey, it's crazy. Like the two teams are looking for a receiver now. Hey, at the same time, man, if Rodgers can get Jeudy, who knows what can happen, man? Because I feel like Judy's a great receiver, but I don't know. The situations he's been in, it's not too good.
That guy hates Russell Wilson, man.
He hates Russell Wilson. He hated Drew Lock. It was just like,
at least with Drew Lock was getting him the ball,
Oh yeah, Drew Lock
him a chance. Drew Lock was giving him a chance,
So to see him play with Aaron Rodgers, who knows how that will change the offensive landscape for the Packers? But we'll see what happens. I really do want him to go to the Giants, though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know why, but
why?
I don't know. Daniel Jones playing with Walmart receivers cooking up is not fun. It's not fair to a lot of people. If he gets Jeudy, it can be a different story. So we'll see.
Yeah, I got the Jaguars winning, plain and simple. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Carolina Panthers playing the Atlanta Falcons. This one's not an interesting one, but it's a toss-up. Can go either way.
It is a toss-up, but I don't know. Like,
I feel like
why would I want to? Like, I don't know who to pick. Like,
I feel like it's gonna be an offensive game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's a
big shootout between these two teams.
It's a random game.
The over/under is 42. So you think they're gonna hit the over?
I think they hit the over.
Okay.
I think they hit the over.
I'm gonna just go with the Falcons because they're more talented on offense, but the Panthers' defense is not bad at all. And I don't know. I'm just going with the Falcons on this one, just off instinct.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I think they go back to that run game, involve DJ Moore, and the defense. They've been playing good. The offense is now finally holding up to their side of the end. So I'm gonna go rock with the Panthers. I ain't gonna lie, Atlanta got a good team, but defensively, Panthers got a better defensive team. So that's the way I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna take the Panthers, and it's just simply because the Falcons don't utilize their playmakers. Guys like Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Those guys are too talented to not be used week in and week out. For Drake London to only have like a target last week and Kyle Pitts to basically do nothing, just block. That's just unacceptable. So I think the Panthers are just going to come in and they're going to run the ball. They had success on the ground last week against the Buccaneers, and I feel like they're just going to stick with that. And PJ Walker, he's starting to find his receivers. DJ Moore had one hell of a week, so I think that's going to continue. Even though they're a team that's looking to lose, at the same time, I kind of think their rebuild is going to be it's going to be quicker than people think, simply because they have talent at their skill positions, and they're not looking to trade those guys. They just moved on from CMC due to that contract and things of that nature. So I'll take the Panthers in this one. I'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Chicago Bears on the road playing the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys, they're the more talented team, and defensively, they're going to harass Justin Fields. He doesn't have an offensive line, so we know he's been struggling to really try to stay inside the pocket because there's just been no hold up from his offensive line, and he's going to try to roll out, but that defense is they're going to harass him. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. The last 3 weeks, the Bears kind of adjusted with the offense because you know how the O-line plays. They started, taking them out the pocket, doing a lot more quarterback draws. I just feel like the Cowboys' defensive line and their front seven is going to contain that. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys, rock with that 1-2 duo in the backfield with Zeke and Tony Pollard, and Dak's back. So I got the Cowboys winning.
Cowboys -9.5. You guys think they cover that?
Yeah. I'm not too okay. 9, like if you said 7, like I'd be like, okay, you said a touchdown, like I'd be like, okay. At least
I still have questions. About
9 is a bit like the Bears' defense is not bad.
And they played pretty good, man, against the Bill Belichick team, man.
I still got questions for Dak, so we'll see. I don't know if
it's not like the Cowboys. It's like, and I spoke about this in the last episode. It's not like the Cowboys' offense is like crazy or anything.
Yeah,
like
hasn't been crazy all year long, but
Yeah.
people are saying you gotta wait for Dak to be fully healthy.
I don't know.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna be 9.5. though.
9 is a bit tough to cover. Think about it. 7 maybe.
I
but
feel like Chicago, they're another one of those grit teams, man. If you look at their W's, they fought out some W's. So even though the old line is trash, man, they be getting points on the board. I don't know how.
I'll take the Cowboys for sure. I don't know, man. I feel like they can. I feel like they can definitely cover this. I feel like Justin Fields, he had a hell of a week last week, but I think he's going to turn over the ball a couple of times, and I think one of them will be a pick six or it will be a fumble, a touchdown scoop to the crib. So, but give me the Cowboys just simply because they're a more talented team. The next game we have the Miami Dolphins on the road playing the 1-5 Detroit Lions.
I feel bad for this defense. What's gonna happen? I feel bad for this defense. There's no way they're gonna cover these two guys. Give me the Dolphins easily. Now, what's the spread on this?
Miami minus 3.5.
That's ridiculous. I don't know what Vegas is thinking, but that's ridiculous. I think Tua shakes off the rust this game and they just pile it on the Dolphins. I'm not give me the they pile it on the Lions, excuse me. Give me the Dolphins easily on this one because there's no way they're gonna keep up. Absolutely not. So
I'm gonna take the Dolphins on this one. I don't really think the Lions are gonna keep up. Swift status in the air. Amon St. Brown status in the air. I feel like Tua, last week he didn't perform too well, but that's the rust to it. So he's gonna come back this week. I feel like Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, they're gonna have some field days against this defense. Promise you, this defense.
the only thing that annoys me though is like if a team has only one win, it
Yeah.
bothers me because like I feel like this is the week that they'll get the
They
second.
might sneak the win, you know. But
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
trusting.
saying.
Hey, I'm not trusting this Lions team. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm
Yeah,
not
different
trusting this
things.
Lions team.
They had a good story, man. You know, the
They had a
beginning of
good
the year,
story,
putting
man,
up
but-
points and stuff.
Man, if they won, let's say they won 2 or 3 games, maybe it'd be different. But injuries hit them and all that. So yeah, Dolphins, man. I expect Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua to have a field day against this defense. So what's the spread again? Yeah?
Minus 3.5.
They winning by 10 plus. Man, that's a joke. Everybody listening, man, put your money on that.
I'm definitely gonna take the Dolphins minus 3.5. Over under 51.5. I think it's under for sure. I don't think the Lions-
Under for sure.
Yeah, I don't think the Lions are gonna put up a lot of points. But I do believe that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle will both combine for at least over 200 plus yards. So I think Tyreek has one of those plays where it's like a 50-yard bomb to the crib. So give me the Dolphins for sure. Lions are just not a talent. Lions are talented, but they're just not well coached. Dan Campbell, he's good. He's a good guy, good dude. But your time in the NFL is up, in my opinion. You got to go. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. I think this one's a bit more interesting. The Las Vegas Raiders on the road playing the New Orleans Saints.
One team is 2-4 and the other is 2-5, right?
Correct.
The thing is, though, it's just like I can't trust the quarterback play about the Saints, but it's like somehow these guys manage to put up points. It's like it doesn't matter who's at quarterback; these guys are gonna put up 30. It's weird, but give me the Raiders just because they're rolling right now and they know that they need to pick up wins and they're looking to establish a run and it's a big matchup with Devontae Adams versus Marshawn Lattimore. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders in this one because I feel like they're rolling right now and that's their plan is just gonna feed their running back and build off of him. So give me that. Give me the Raiders.
You said Marshawn Lattimore like he was going to stop Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I don't think so, but of course it's a matchup week. So
Nah, I feel like the Raiders, if they get the run game involved, they can destroy the Saints. Josh Jacobs been looking phenomenal the last 3 weeks. So I got the Raiders winning, but the Saints, they always put up a fight somehow, some way. They got a good defense, man. So Kamara, pretty sure the last 3 weeks he had a fantastic. Every week he's been killing. So I don't know. It's gonna be a tough week. I feel like it's gonna be a close game. The line's at what? Raiders -2?
The line for this Raiders game is, I think it's definitely Raiders -2. Yes.
Yeah, I got Raiders coming out. Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. What's the status on Darren Waller this week?
Still dealing with that hamstring injury. I
Man.
don't think he'll be back this week, to be honest.
Hamstring injuries, deadly. So, yeah, I'm gonna rock with the Raiders. I mean, Derek Carr is really a game managing quarterback with Josh Jacobs killing like this. So, if he can keep this up, doesn't make mistakes, doesn't turn the ball over, they might escape into the playoffs like this.
Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders. I think right now they got something good going. I think I mentioned in our last episode that I feel like they're just one of those teams that the record doesn't really tell the full story who they are as a team. They've been in a lot of close games that could have gone either way. Of course, games that on top of our heads, the Cardinals and the Chiefs and stuff like that. If they just fix up in those games, they're sitting here at 4-2 and playing the Saints team that's pretty depleted. I'm not too sure if Michael Thomas will be back at this point. Will he be back this entire season at some point? I don't even know, but definitely give me the Raiders here. They'll cover this -2 spread. I think they're going to stick with what's been working with that for them, which is Josh Jacobs and of course Devontae Adams. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. I hope it's Marshawn Lattimore because I do want to see him get cooked, but I know he's dealing with some sort of injury. So
I want to see him get cooked. I ain't gonna lie, really get cooked.
Yeah, I'm not too high on that guy. So I think Devontae, regardless of who's guarding him, he's going to have one hell of a day. And then Josh Jacobs will lead the way for him. So I got the Raiders. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The New England Patriots coming off a Monday night loss to the Chicago Bears on the road, playing the 5-2 Jets.
Give me the Jets, man. Give me the Jets are rolling. And I feel like Bill Belichick is stuck between a rock and a hard place right now with this quarterback play. And it's like, do I go with Billy Zappi? Do I go with the guy that I drafted in Mac Jones and who I was playing as a starter last year and the starter coming into this season? And they're just right now, they have the whole situation figured out. And of course, they brought in James Robinson. It sucks that they lost Breece Hall, who was the talented running back for them, but they brought in James Robinson, who's a great running back. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't see a reason why the Patriots would win this game, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're just gonna put up a ton of points. I don't think they're gonna put up a ton of points. I feel like losing Breece Hall is just like, that's kind of demoralizing. And that was their go-to guy and how they're scoring points. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. I think it's gonna be similar to how they won against the Broncos last week, like a 16-9, 16-7 type of affair. So give me the Jets.
I don't know about this one. I don't not know about this one. They struggled last week after Breece Hall left the game against the Broncos. I feel like this the week divisional game. Bill Belichick's gonna wake up. He got taxed by the Bears, but this might be the week he comes back and just says, "Hey, Jets, time to slow your roll, man." They won what, the last 4 games? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Patriots this week. I went with them last week. They lost to the Bears, but I'm gonna double down this week, man. I feel like Michael Carter and James Robinson, they're not as explosive and electric like Breece Hall. I ain't gonna lie. And then we know how the pass game looks. So if Patriots, Bill Belichick dimes in on stopping the run and forces Zach Wilson to throw the ball.
That's actually hilarious.
Huh?
I just realized that he's gonna make Zach Wilson's life a living hell.
He's gonna make Zach Wilson a living hell. I'm pretty sure Matthew Judon, he got 9.5 sacks this year, so he's been in the backfield a lot. So I got the Patriots win. I feel like Bill, he's gonna key in on that run game, and he's gonna come back this week get a dub.
It's pretty surprising. The Jets sitting at 5-2, and Vegas still has them as the favorites -1.5. I mean, it's nothing. It could go either way. That's probably what they're thinking. But still, regardless, the Patriots, they're sitting at 3-4. The Jets have been rolling, and they're not the favorites. It's kind of crazy. But I'm definitely going with the New England Patriots. I don't think I've gone with them this entire year. But if Mac Jones is under center on Sunday, I like my chances.
Hey, he pump faked me so hard, bro. I thought he was gonna say the Jets.
Nah, if Mac Jones is under center, give me the Patriots. But regardless, even if it's Bailey Zappi, I'm still sticking with my pick. I think Mac Jones is going to turn it around this week. I think last week, while Monday night lights the brightest, it just wasn't a good night for him. And of course, reports are already coming out before the game even started that, don't be surprised if you see a little bit of both quarterbacks, him and Bailey Zappi. So the Bailey Zappi show has come to an end. He had his moment, a couple of moments on Monday night, back-to-back touchdown drives. But then after that, he did absolutely nothing. He wasn't better. He wasn't better than Mac at all, besides those first 2 drives. He gave him a little bit of life, but not much. So I think Mac Jones is going to be the starter this week, and I'm assuming that he'll be ready to go, and I think he's going to have a better game. And just the Jets, I just don't know what their run game is going to look like. Like you guys mentioned, James Robinson, he's a good running back. I like that acquisition that they got. But at the same time,
I just want to add on the Jet side of the ball. When they lost Breece Hall last week, they lost their starting guard as well, Elijah Vera Tucker. So he was playing phenomenal, but both of them out now. It's a big piece right there. Big piece. And they played some on IR. So, they were raving about that guy too. They were like, yo, this guy came out of nowhere. So it's bad to see them lose that.
I think the Jets fans and the Jets franchise, they all think that they're one of like a legit team in right now. So I think the Patriots are gonna come in there. They're gonna give them a nice humbling. So give me the Patriots. This next game I'm about to mention is not interesting whatsoever. This one should be really like a one-liner. Steelers on the road playing the Philadelphia Eagles coming off a bye week.
The Eagles.
Hey, sorry to my guy LH. You know he's a big Steelers fan. Sorry to be another big Steelers fan. Eagles by 20. Go Eagles, go Eagles.
Hey man, yeah, give me the Eagles. Are they gonna cover the 10.5 spread? You guys think they'll cover?
I think they can cover that.
100%.
This is at home.
Yeah,
100%.
I think they can cover that.
I'm gonna say they don't. I'm gonna say they don't cover that.
Nah.
At least
I
a
feel-
touchdown though. At least a touchdown.
Yeah, I can give it a touchdown, but minus 10.5. That's just too many points.
I don't know.
It's just too many points. Dude. Like they're coming off a bye week too, so teams when they come off a bye, it's gonna be a bit rusty. But
Yeah, true that.
who knows? We'll go ahead and talk about this next game. This one's actually a lot more interesting. The Arizona Cardinals playing my Minnesota Vikings on the road for the Cardinals. Vikings coming off a bye. It's finally good to see my team back.
I don't know. I feel like this is kind of interesting because a team coming off a bye, a lot of times they come out flat-footed, a bit rusty. But I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Vikings just because I feel like I don't know what to expect out of this Cardinals team. Like, are they gonna put up 26 or are they gonna put up 7? I don't know. Like their ceiling and their floor is just a huge difference. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings, the more talented team. I feel like defensively the Cardinals are not gonna be able to stop that offense. And I mean the greatest quarterback when it's not prime time. I mean Kirk Cousins. So giving him any day of the week. So
I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I don't think I picked Arizona once this year. I'm pretty sure. Nah, I picked them against the Panthers. Did they play the Panthers?
They did.
Okay, that's the only time I picked them.
No, you didn't actually.
I did. I went with Baker Mayfield, right?
Yeah, you went with Baker Mayfield and
So
CMC.
I'm not picking them again. We're going with the Vikings. The only thing for me is like, can Kyler Murray finally get a first half touchdown? I feel like that's like for them, they can't get a touchdown in the first half, and that slows them down a lot of games. So I feel like Vikings get a couple key stops and march down the field, score 14, maybe 17 in the first half. Game's in lock, man. I feel like the game's locked down. So I got the Vikings winning. I hope y'all don't play like the 5 weeks y'all played earlier. Just the game script just slows down in the end of the game. They get close, and you guys barely win.
Hey,
I'm trying to see a blowout.
Surprised, man. These the Minnesota Vikings, they're good at one thing, and that's giving their fans a heart attack. So
Yeah, I'm not even a fan. I'd be getting heart attacks from watching the game.
makes no sense. But of course, I haven't gone against my team all season, and I'm not looking to do that this week. I'm taking my Minnesota Vikings to win this one. But of course, coming off a bye week, I don't want my team to come out flat-footed, and I want us on our very first drive to at least put up a touchdown. I don't want a field goal. I want us to put up a touchdown because then that'll tell me that we're good, we're all right, and we're picking up right where we left off. And our offense, I just want it to be balanced this Sunday. The Cardinals, they're a team that's desperate. They're sitting at 3-4 in a very close race for their division, and they're going to come in there and they're going to give us their best, and we have to be ready for that. And I feel like this Vikings defense, we've been tested this entire year, and it's been up and it's been down, and we've been finding different ways to win. But I think this week it won't come down to our defense. I think it's just going to be offense versus offense, and who has a better offense. And I'm trusting our guys to come stay home and be true to themselves and get this win. So are they going to cover the -3.5? I don't think so. I think we just probably win by a field goal. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Tennessee Titans sitting at 4-2, top of their division, playing the Houston Texans, which is the worst team in their division.
Divisional game, but I'm gonna just stick with the team that has a pretty straightforward game plan. Feed Derrick Henry and play defense. So give me the Titans in this one. I don't think it's something that should be like. I just feel like the Titans are not going to do too much with their quarterback play. They're not going to sit here and have their quarterback try to throw it 25 plus times or 30 plus times. They know Brian Tannehill is a game manager for them, and of course Derrick Henry is going to be Derrick Henry. The guy 30 rushes 30 carries last week. What running back can handle those carries? So, I mean, he always cooks divisional opponents. So, give me Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with
I'm
the.
here. Derrick
Alright.
Henry, 30 carries. It's the only guy that can do it, man. You see how he's built, bro. 6'3", 225, all muscle. Who's gonna stop that? You just gotta hand the ball off, let him run the ball. Tano don't gotta do too much. And Titans defense this year, man, just like last year, even without Derrick Henry, they carried that team last year. So they're playing very great off the ball this year. I got the Titans beating the Texans. And you know what I'm gonna say again. Damian Pierce. You just give him the ball, let him run. You know, just let him have fun. Mini Marshawn Lynch right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely take the Titans in this one. Especially you just saw what Josh Jacobs did to them last Sunday. Like, what do you think Derrick Henry's gonna do? Like, Josh Jacobs finished for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think Derrick Henry definitely cracks 200 and probably gets in the end zone as well. So this one's pretty much pretty much an easy decision for me. I'm going with the Titans. Titans -2 though. That's kind of weird. Like, this is the Texans, one of the worst teams in their division, one of the worst teams in the
I
league.
guess it's
So.
because it's a divisional game. Like the Texans have motivation to play extra hard, so I see why the spread. And it's not like the Titans are like known for putting up like ample amount of points, you know.
Yeah, it's a division game, so I feel like the Texans, every game they've been in, you know, they put in some fight, and towards the late game, they just lose a little bit. But we'll see.
We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Washington Commanders on the road playing the Indianapolis Colts. Of course, once again, we just got word that Matt Ryan is done in Indianapolis. They're starting their backup quarterback, Sam Ellinger, and Carson Wentz, of course, is out. So Tyler Heineke is starting quarterback over there.
I don't know. Like I feel like this is a game that can go either way for some weird reason. I'm not confident in either side that I'd pick. I'm going with the Colts in this one, man. Okay, Colts. I think
Come
this
on,
is.
man.
I think this is the Jonathan Taylor week. I actually think this is the Jonathan Taylor week. Something telling me that this is a week Jonathan Taylor shows up, like a big Jonathan Taylor week. So I'm gonna rock with the Colts. I feel like right now they know how sorry they are and they got to be better. And I'm not buying that Taylor Heineke fluke that happened against us last week. We're
Of
not a
course
real
he
team.
wouldn't buy it.
I mean,
Of
we're
course
not a
he
real
wouldn't
team.
buy it.
We're not a real team. The Packers aren't a real team.
So the Colts are a real team?
No, but they're more real than us. You know, like
I don't know.
they've shown a little bit more fight than us.
I ain't gonna lie, a whole lot of NPCs on the team, like Alex Pierce, Deion Jackson. Those guys been turning.
Those guys are talented though. Like
Deion Jackson, my guy.
we have the real NPCs at wide receiver, but I'm gonna rock with the Colts in this one.
This line is crazy. They got the Colts winning by 3.
Colts -3, man.
Woo! Hey, listen, I went against the Commanders every single week because of Carson Wentz. You feel me? Last week they went up against Rodgers. I had to pick Rodgers for respect reasons. This is gonna be my first week of picking the Commanders. I feel like the offenses, Gibson kind of looked good last game. I don't know. He was involved. 10 carries, 59 yards. I'm not too sure how many catches he had, but he was pretty involved in the game. Abby's boy Brian Robinson, just spawned into the game.
The guy just appeared out of nowhere. These NPCs, man.
It just spawned in, out of nowhere. He's a phenomenal runner. I feel like he had 2 great games, and Heineke's gonna get Scary Terry involved, Curtis Samuel involved. They have Jahan Dotson back this week, so I feel like Commanders, man, they're gonna win this game. That -3's tripping. On the Colts end, like you're throwing in Sam Ellinger. I know he played for Texas. I don't know if he did good for Texas, but they're throwing him into the spotlight like this. I don't think it's going to work out. They're going to feed the ball to Jonathan Taylor, so we'll see what happens. But I got the Commanders winning.
I don't know who I want to pick because last week I picked the Colts simply because I thought with Jonathan Taylor returning, they would have give him the touches, but the week before we saw Deion Jackson go off like Big H mentioned in our last episode, and then when Jonathan Taylor comes back, all of a sudden he's getting 10 touches. I just feel like I just don't know what to expect from this team. So give me the Commanders. I feel like what they have going on right now, especially coming off a big win at home against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, even though, of course, we know the Packers aren't a good team, but regardless, they were the underdogs going into that game. So I feel like what they got going on right now, it's good for them, and I just don't know what to expect from this Colts team. Are they going to give Jonathan Taylor 30 touches? If they do, they'll win. If they don't, I don't think they'll win because I'm not too sure if they're going to rely heavily on their quarterback. So I think the Commanders come in here. Tyler Heineke sticks to what he does best, and that's getting Terry McLaurin the ball, and the 1-2 punch between Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson it's good. So it's working for them. So give me the Commanders. Now we move on. Well, that was our first 1 o'clock game, but now we move on to our second 1 o'clock game. This was an interesting matchup, a divisional game. The San Francisco 49ers on the road playing the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams coming off their bye week. The Niners just lost to the Chiefs. But man, these two teams, whenever they go at it, man, it is a show.
I'm gonna go with the Niners in this one, man. I'm gonna go with the Niners. I feel like when I picked them the last time against the Rams, right? They played early in the season. Correct me if I'm wrong.
They
And I had
did.
I had the Niners winning. I'm gonna go with the Niners again, and this time just because of CMC, I feel like he's gonna get full, uh, a lot more reps in his offense. And we saw how good he was in those limited reps when he got into the game against the Chiefs. I feel like that offense, like they started to get Kittle involved, and of course they still have Debo who's day to day with his hamstring injury, but hopefully he'll be ready by the time they play the Rams. And then Ayuk has been going under the radar. He's been playing solid, so I'm gonna go with this team with this offense. I feel like this offense has its pieces, and I don't know what to expect from the Rams. Coming off a bye week, maybe they fix up and they start returning to much better form. But I'm gonna go with the Niners in this one.
I'm not going with the Rams. That O line has been looking fugazi this whole season. I feel like this is the week that the Niners come in. They love playing the Rams. They love going head up against the Rams. They felt like last game for them, Jimmy Ward dropped a key interception that could have led them to the Super Bowl. So they want their get back this week. Like I just said, CMC is going to be more involved. Ayuk been looking phenomenal. Kittle the last couple of weeks, he's been getting his touches. So the offense is kind of opening up, but can the defense, stay strong? We haven't seen the defense play good the last couple of weeks. So I got the Niners coming out. Hopefully the defense is very healthy this week. Fix up some stuff. But I hope CMC, man. I need to see a 100-yard game, 2 tucks. Feed my guy.
And I'm sitting here thinking you guys are gonna pick the Rams, and you guys just went ahead and went with my pick. I picked the Niners to win the last time these two teams
Well, yeah,
match up.
man. I told you from the beginning of the year, like the Rams, like you know me, I'm not going with the Rams. So
Yeah, I get that. I thought Abdi would be different, but of course I'm going with the Niners in this one. Simply because Kyle Shanahan has this team's number. No matter which way you put it, regardless of what happened um, in that NFC Championship game, these two teams, whenever they match up, the Niners have always gotten the best of them majority of the time. So, give me the Niners. I feel like CMC with him, being more involved in the offense, I feel like it's going to open up their playbook. And then one thing I do want to point out in the beginning, during our preseason episodes, I did mention Brandon Ayuk stepping up and breaking out for this Niners football team. I called it, and he stepped up to the plate, man. These last couple of weeks they've been involving him a lot more, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. So I think that they just continue on with that. And Jimmy G, he started off the game hot last week, and then he threw a pick in the red zone, and it kind of just turned the whole game, flipped the game upside down. Like in a game where you're going back and forth with Patrick Mahomes, you can't really afford to turn over the ball in a terrible spot, where you're able to walk away with some points. So, but just go. I think he'll be better this week. He's always better against the Rams, and they just limit his mistakes. So I'll take the Niners. But once again, we have another interesting matchup involving Big H's Seattle Seahawks. The New York Giants 6-1 on the road playing the Seattle Seahawks that are sitting at 4-3. This one's an interesting one, man.
Let me start off with this one. Those NPCs on the Giants and Saquon and Daniel Jones, they getting cooked this week. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to come in, run the ball down the throat. Geno going to do what Geno does. You know what I'm saying? Top 8 quarterback in the league right now. And I feel like the Giants been finding out a lot of W's, but I feel like we put a stop to it, man. We got too much high-powered offense for them. I hope DK's healthy this week. I don't think he's going to be fully healthy, but we'll see. But everybody else, Marquise Goodwin stepped up when DK stepped out. So he's another phenomenal fast receiver we got. Tyler Lockett's there. All of our tight ends been eating. And my guy, Kenneth Walker, you know what I'm saying? Michigan State product, man. Phenomenal running back. So I expect him to get the ball a lot, run him down the throat. And I think we get this W from the Giants. But Giants defense and Daniel Jones and Dabo, phenomenal team this year. So it really can go other way, but you know how I'm rocking. I got to go with my Seahawks.
I mean, I've picked against the Seahawks every single week, right? It was obvious. I don't pick against them again. Like I'm gonna go against them again. I'm going with the Giants. And the rationale last week, you guys picked against the Giants. I think y'all picked against the Giants, if I'm correct, when they played the Jaguars.
I did.
And you thought, well, they're going to slip up. I don't know. Like this team, the way they're executing in close games.
Don't
just-
compare the Jaguars to Seattle.
No, but still, it's a principle of them executing in close games. They know how to get the job done, right? The team, when it comes to the fourth quarter and second halves, they know what it takes to win a game. They've just shown that all season. So I'm gonna go with the Giants in this game. I feel like the absence of DK is gonna hurt this week, and of course they still have Tyler Lockett and Marquise Goodwin, but DK is a big wide receiver to be missing from your roster. And I mean, you have Kenneth Walker and they have Saquon Barkley, so it's not like they're let up on their running back side. They have the premier running back one in the league. So I like what Daniel Jones has been offering to this team. And of course, Geno Smith has been amazing, but I like what this Giants team is able to do defensively and offensively. They have a clear identity. So give me the Giants, man.
Man, oh man. Seahawks and Giants, two teams I've been rooting against and picking against all season. Now they're matched up against each other. Give me Seattle. This is my first week. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm rocking with Geno Smith, Big H.
Yo, if we win, I'm buying a bunch this week. I'm promising.
Hey, I need that. I need Geno Smith at home against this hot Giants team. Seahawks they're hot as well. And, they got it rolling right now. I just feel like they're gonna come in there, like Big H said. Kenneth Walker's gonna do his thing, and Geno Smith is gonna be in that pocket and stay calm and stay poised. And if I said it last week, the Giants are going to slip up against the Jags, and they didn't. This is where they slip up. I know the Seattle Seahawks defense is nothing crazy, but Tariq Woolen, I think he might walk away with an interception this week.
Oh no, Daniel Jones been smart with the ball lately, but Tariq Woolen in town, baby.
I think Tariq Woolen walks away with one.
I'm saying pick six. We're gonna get a pick six from him. We're gonna get a pick six from him. Come on.
Right, I won't go too far.
I gotta rep my guy. He get one to the house, baby.
I'll leave. I'm gonna say interception for sure, but I do believe that this game can really go either way, man. These two teams are both they've been exceeding everybody's expectations, but the Seattle Seahawks will give them the edges, them being at home. They're crowded and they're gonna rally behind that, and they're gonna do what they do best. And I feel like the Seahawks -3, do they cover that? I think they do. I think they win by like a touchdown. I think they win by a touchdown or maybe 6 points. So give me them. Now we move to our Sunday night matchup.
This should be straightforward. Like if you guys, we're not gonna like go in depth about this. Like this should be pretty.
I got some things to say, but
this should be pretty obvious. Like
the Green Bay Packers on the road playing the Buffalo Bills.
Yo, Josh Allen, and that's it. That's all you get. Josh Allen's gonna win this game.
Murder, abuse, all types of things are gonna happen to the Packers this week. I feel sorry for them. I got the Bills winning, man. Keep pushing. They let y'all take our 2 minutes. Let it finish up.
I got a lot of things. I don't got much to say about this game. I want to speak about Josh Allen, this Buffalo Bills team. They're coming off a bye week as well. One of the few teams that had a bye last week. I just feel like they're one team that I'm not concerned about of them coming out flat. I feel like they're gonna come in and hit the ground running. Them being at home helps. In Green Bay, they're just a dysfunctional team, and their defense has been pretty much terrible all year. And I feel like, man, two guys that can have amazing days are, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. They're going to take the top off of that defense. Jair Alexander, man, if you thought last week was rough,
he's coming ready this week though.
Scary Terry, if you thought last week was rough,
he's coming ready this week for sure.
He doesn't know what's going to hit him when he has to guard Stephon Diggs. And Stephon Diggs, we've seen what he did to Jalen Ramsey, so he's not afraid to go up against anybody. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bills. The spread. Let me see what the spread is at. Bills -12. Okay, I don't think they're covering that.
Yeah, 12 is kind of crazy though.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's a whole lot of points.
I do think they'll win this game though by at least 10 points though. I'll say 10. The Packers, they have nothing going for them, and I can't sit here and say they're gonna get all their guys involved. I just can't. So give me the Bills. We have a pretty interesting Monday Night Football matchup. The Cincinnati Bengals on the road playing the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are sitting at 2-5, but of course they're similar to the Las Vegas Raiders. They've let some games slip away out of their hands, and the Bengals are rolling right now. So I don't know, the divisional game too. So
that's the thing, like when any team in this division plays each other, like I'm never confident picking one, like never, because like these teams play each other very, very tough, and like the Browns, like I don't know, like
I know you want to go with the Bengals, man.
No, I want to be edgy. Partly, I want to be edgy because it's a divisional game. Browns are gonna like they're reeling. They know that they need to win, especially to keep up with this team. I believe they're like what 2-5.
2-5.
Yeah, and the Bengals are what 4-3. I want to say something
4
like
and 3.
that. See what I mean? Like this division, the margins like are tight. So give me the Bengals just because they're the more hot offense. Last 2 weeks, Joe Burrow's been cooking, so I'm gonna go with them just because of their offense. And I don't know what the status is with Denzel Ward. Possibly, and he plays great against Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase even gives him credit. Plays phenomenal against him, but I don't know what the status with him. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals. They're the more hot offense.
Yeah, I'm rocking with the Bengals, man. They got more offensive talent. Feel like the defense can hold up against that pass game against the Browns. I feel like the defense can hold their own. The run game, we know what Nick Chubb's going to do. We know what Kareem Hunt's going to do. Regardless of the situation, they're going to eat. But if they can keep Brissett not passing that game manager status and going to that next level, the Bengals got the dub. And we don't got to speak about that offense. The last couple weeks, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, those three guys been cooking. And we got to talk about our guy, Joe Burrow. So he's been on a roll. He's been hot. I really don't think the Browns are going to stop him, even if it's a division game. I see the Bengals winning by 7+.
I mean, they're favorites to win. They're the favorites to win this game, -3.5. So you're saying they'll cover that?
Easy.
Okay. I have the Bengals winning this one. I think they'll cover the spread as well. I don't. This game could be a close one, but personally, I don't think it'll be close. I think with the way this offense has been rolling and flowing these last couple of weeks, I feel like I don't know what Zach Taylor has, what they did to Zach Taylor, and what we're seeing a lot more big plays now, 20+ yards, and we're seeing more all their guys get involved. So I feel like they're just gonna keep that going. And Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and I think Tyler Boyd, they went on the. I don't know if it was I Am Athlete or if it was the Pivot, and they were talking about
Might
the
have been the
Browns
Pivot.
cornerback.
Might have
They were
been
talking about
Pivot.
Denzel Ward and those DBs in Cleveland, and they love that matchup. So there's some beef there, of course. Being division rivals and whatnot. And I feel like those guys they're gonna have a handful trying to guard the three-headed snake of Chase, Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. So my boy Joe Burrow, 4 touchdowns back-to-back weeks. I think he finishes with 3 because 2 of those touchdowns have been rushing touchdowns, and I don't think he'll get in the end zone this week. But 3 touchdowns, 400 yards, and a W. So give me the Bengals. But that pretty much wraps up week 8. The two teams that are on by the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chiefs, they don't necessarily need a bye week, but I think that this is a good bye week for the Chargers, the team that's dealing with a lot of health issues. I think this is a good reset button. They can hit the reset button this week and get their guys healthy and try to.
A good week for them to get healthy receivers back. Keenan can get healthy. Mike Wills, he got an ankle injury. He can get back healthy. Joshua Palmer too. So they're missing 3 key guys right there. So if they can get healthy, man, we'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, they definitely needed this bye week more than the Chiefs. The Chiefs coming off a big win,
Chiefs going on vacation, man. They're going on vacation this week.
Yeah, this is a week off for them. But that wraps up our week 8 predictions. I want to get into the NBA scene. The very first week of the NBA season has just wrapped up, and I know we have some hot takes. I know we have some things to say, and I think it's only right we address the elephant in the room. The Los Angeles Lakers starting off their season. What is it, 0-3?
How the hell you want to address my team first?
Hey, man, it's the elephant in the room.
It's the same way y'all start off with Seattle, man. Relax.
Bro, yeah. Well, it was crazy is we've told you this, like, you thought we were crazy for having this team be a 9th seed. Like, you thought we were crazy. It's obvious this team is not talented. It's not, bro, like, look at the rotation, right? You have guys like Wenyen Gabriel, Juan Toscano Anderson, Matt Ryan, Austin Reeves, Patrick Beverly, Russell Westbrook, Lonnie Walker, like, and then you have LeBron AD. Like, who are these NPCs, right? Outside of Patrick Beverly and maybe Lonnie Walker and Westbrook's been trash, right? These NPCs next to LeBron and AD are not. This is not a talented like
At
Westbrook
all,
cannot.
at all, at all.
Westbrook-
No, no. I agree with you. 100%.
no. Because no. You had this
At
team.
all.
You had this team making the playoffs confidently. You
I think we
confidently.
make the playoffs though. We got a couple weeks to make some
This-
trades.
I don't think you guys are even better than the Kings at this point, but that's a separate discussion. But this team, this Lakers team, is just not talented. It's not a good team. Westbrook cannot play a single minute after this, and this team still like nothing will change in terms of its identity. Darwin had wanted you guys to shoot more threes, but you guys can't shoot threes. Like, who are your shooters?
Hey, like I said, bro, we gotta blame Rob Pelinka. We just gotta blame Rob Pelinka.
Yes,
At
yeah.
this point-
You
at
blew
this
up the
point,
roster. You blew up the roster for
blew
Westbrook.
up the roster for what? Like, tell me, but you really go into the offseason, you know the way the style LeBron plays. We've seen LeBron 18, 19 years of his career. We know the style of LeBron. He needs shooters around him. And you come in and you put Patrick Beverly, Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson. I don't even know who the other guys on the starting lineup. Lonnie Walker. Not one of these guys can shoot threes. We having LeBron shoot 9 threes a game. You know how embarrassing that is? LeBron taking 9 threes a game? But yeah, I'm gonna admit, man, Laker gas, I was low-key high, you know what I'm saying? It was running into the season, but that 6th spot that I said, it might not even be the 10th spot, man. We missed out last year with injuries, but this year we're fully healthy. I don't even think that we get by that 10th spot. We got teams like Portland that we're sleeping on, teams like Pelicans that we put low, but those teams are balling out right now. So
Well, maybe you didn't believe in the Pelicans. Also, don't speak for everybody here. Speak for
hey, I
yourself.
believed in Portland though. Y'all didn't believe in Portland. We can say that.
I think if I remember correctly, I probably had the Portland above you guys. Like I
think you had Portland at 8. I had Portland at 8.
Hey, I had Portland at 10. So yes, I probably disrespected them slightly, but it's still very early. So I'll go ahead and take that. I won't take the L there. It's too early. But for the Lakers, I'll definitely take the L because I had them making the 8th seed. So
I mean, I had them at the 9th or 10th.
I was the only one that really hit on it in the 9th and 10th one. But goddamn, I don't think these guys. I don't know, man. Can we even trade Westbrook at this point? Like, what's the value on him? Like, our team's really...
Go get yourself Terry Rozier.
Hey, listen,
and
Rob
Gordon Hayward.
Pelinka is holding on to these 2 draft picks like it's his 2 valuable sons, and he's the king of the world. Like, those draft picks don't mean nothing. Like, once after we lose the season, right? AD might want to trade. You know, Bron's here,
But
but
the thing is, though, like,
I don't know.
I kind of understand where he's going with those 2 draft picks because just like let's say you bring in
But at the
whatever.
same
Let's
time,
say any situation you bring in Hield and Miles
Turner,
Turner, right?
or
For
we
example,
get,
or you bring
Terry
in Terry Rozier and PJ Washington or Gordon Hayward, right? Or you even like the Spurs
Jordan Clarkson.
flirted, the
Yeah,
Spurs
depends
flirted
on the-
Josh Richardson and McDermott and Pirtle, right? Any of those like scenarios. Let's say the Lakers don't end up winning the ring. You just lost 2 of your first round picks in a winless season, like, and you don't have any more after that. It's just like, what do you gain? You know, so it's
trade
like
AD as ASAP.
wait.
as
So
possible.
where did they trade all their first round picks to? Washington?
Bro, I don't.
they lost
no,
them
we
to
lost
Washington.
We lost them to Washington, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our picks went to AD as well. A lot of our 2nd round picks went to AD.
Damn, and that only really paid off for what, 1 championship?
One championship and 88 games injured. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. So
It was looking like a good investment, but I think you guys.
in the
definitely
beginning, I
messed up
felt
with
like
that
it was a
Russell
good
Westbrook trade.
investment, but you got to kind of put the blame on Braun too for actually, letting that Westbrook trade go by.
I ain't gonna lie, that kind of pisses me off. Like,
No, Braun, like nothing goes by him if he doesn't want it.
I feel like people aren't holding LeBron accountable for
That's
this.
what I'm
like,
saying.
Like, you made this bed, you sleep in it. Like, it's your problem. You wanted
Every
Westbrook.
trade
You're
that he's
fine with
done,
Westbrook.
every trade that he's done, it's to go through. Hey, Braun, you want this guy? It's a yes. If you
Bro,
don't,
the GM, bro, this is what the
It's
GM
the
wanted.
Yeah, no, he 100% recruited
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
he 100% wanted him. So
This
the
is
blame,
definitely on him.
but at the
More
same
than it is
time,
on Rob Pelinka, to be honest. I
same
think this is
time,
definitely on LeBron James.
Pelinka got to put his foot down, be like, this is not the direction I want the team to go to.
He doesn't really have that. He doesn't have that power when LeBron James is on your roster.
Man,
Yeah, we got LeBron James on your roster.
that's what killed the roster. There we go. We put the blame on Braun. Braun been my guy for years, you know what I'm saying? But when he does this stuff like this and the way he ends like his 10 years on team, I don't know. I feel like he leaves it like.
I can be completely real. I don't think he's playing to win a championship.
You think it's the scoring title? That's what it is.
It's
I think
a
yeah.
scoring title, bro. He's not looking to win because you see his body language in the post-game press conference and stuff like that. It's not
Like,
it's not a guy who's
Portland.
looking motivated to win, man.
Against Portland, that last drive where Jeremy Grant had the game-winning layup, right? right? The guy didn't even look like he wanted to play defense. He just let him walk by him. He took one step. He's like, whatever. And then everybody's like, oh, AD was there. He should have blocked that. He's like, come on now. Bron let him go into the paint. Like, what else can AD do? You know,
AD been your best player. I can't lie.
AD's our best player, bro. I respect AD. People have been saying AD's, he's the problem. He's not shooting well, but he's coming off an injury. Let him, get into stride. He's averaging, I think, 25 and 8 and like 2 blocks right now. So he's been playing phenomenal for us. But that Portland game really ticked me off, man. I feel like that the minute Darvin Ham subbed back Westbrook in, we completely lost the momentum of the game. Completely lost the momentum of the game right there. So
The thing is, though, Westbrook's an ezy scapegoat, though, man. I
no,
gotta say,
if you watch the last,
That's what I said. That's what I
No,
said. Like,
it's an easy scapegoat. I watched the entire game, and like even I know Russell Westbrook, he took a shot 30 seconds left in the game with the shot clock. He could have taken off some seconds there. But regardless, like,
talking about
there's
the shot. I'm
so
just not
many
talking
plays
about the
before
shot.
that.
I'm not talking. The minute he subbed back in the last 2 minutes of the game, after we won, I think it was like a 12-3 run. We had a 5-point lead. Troy Brown Jr. was hooping. I think Reeves was in the game. He was doing well. It was Reeves, Troy Brown, AD, LeBron, and Pat Bev. Those 5 guys were going hooping that fourth quarter. The minute he subs back in, you see him in the corner. You see him at the wing. They're not guarding him. He's just standing. He's not cutting. He's not moving. He's just standing. What is he doing? I don't know. Y'all think the blame's not on him, but the guy's shooting 20%. Last game was like,
I mean, your whole entire
we're not-
team is
like,
shooting 20%.
the thing is, though,
Hey,
like, we can easily.
no. Am I paying
Westbrook.
Austin? No. Am I paying Austin Reeves $47 million?
No, of course not.
Okay, thank you.
But he's playing big minutes, so you need him to shoot.
50 mil for horrible shots. No, it's even worse. If it was a contested jump shot, I'll be fine.
Like,
This
you have
guy's
Austin
open
Reeves playing
shot.
minutes, like
He's
like,
missing open shots.
and we're not gonna
It's
say
not
like
contested.
Lonnie Walker's
Wide
another
open
brick.
layups.
Like
Layups.
Westbrook's a brick, but there's all bricks all around. Like
But
everybody.
those guys are getting contested.
80's
Those guys
a
are
brick.
getting contested. Those guys
80,
are getting
80's a
contested.
brick. Lonnie Walker's a brick. Patrick Beverly's been a brick. Westbrook's a brick. Like all these
They're
guys are
getting
bricks.
contested. They're getting contested.
They're all bricks
Russell-
though.
But it's contested jump
None
shot.
of- it's not. I'm
If you
saying.
give an open jump shot to somebody, right?
What I'm saying is
What
none of
those-
these guys can shoot the basketball. They're
None
not
of these
shooters.
guys can shoot the ball.
Like
None of these
80
guys
is a
can
terrible
shoot the ball.
shooter. I just mentioned
None of
everybody
these
else.
guys can shoot the
LeBron's
ball.
your best shooter. LeBron's legit your best
But
shooter.
when everybody
Hey,
else,
what happened to the DoorDash worker, though?
Remember?
Hey, I think- I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yo, I kid you
Darvin Ham-
not.
I think Darvin Ham seen
They,
the
they
tweet.
sprinkle him in like parsley.
Yeah, hey, Darvin Ham seen the tweet, bro. He was like, "This guy was a DoorDash worker." He
Well,
was
they
like, "Yeah,
sprinkle.
yeah,
I kid you not. They sprinkle this guy in like parsley. Like he gets a little 1 minute, hits a jumper,
Oh,
and that's all he
man.
gets.
This situation with Westbrook was never gonna work, bro. It was never gonna work.
Yeah, the Lakers, man.
You
They're
gotta be.
definitely.
You gotta understand Westbrook's game plan is like he gotta be ball dominant. He's the one that has to distribute.
Westbrook
the
has
ball.
to be the point guard. Like that's
He's
just who
gonna
he is.
distribute the ball. But when you pair him up with the guy that has the ball 98% of the time in his hands, come on now. It's like, it
It
didn't
just
work.
don't- it's
It
not
didn't
gonna
work.
work, of
Hey,
course.
it didn't work with Harden. Like he paired up with Harden, another player that has the ball 95% of the time in his hands. Westbrook really can't play off ball, so it's tough like that. He got to be a main
I'm
distributor.
not gonna lie, those two did put up some.
No, they
historical
no, they're
numbers,
no,
though.
they were
Before
working
Westbrook got hurt.
together. They were
Before
working until
Westbrook got hurt. They were hooping.
No,
They were hooping.
the thing is, well, it's just like the difference between like hard because we've seen Harden work with
But the
CP3.
Rockets had better.
CP3 is another like a
Ball
ball
dominant
dominant guy. He's gonna get the ball. He's gonna
Yeah.
get the rock. But it's like with LeBron's like, yo, go stand corner. It's like, okay. Just,
Yeah, yeah, you know what that reminds me of?
LeBron's gonna tell you just stand
Yeah,
corner.
you know what?
What's-
You know what that reminds me of?
yeah,
Minnesota.
that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, guys are telling you just go stand corner. Like if I'm Westbrook, I'm pissed. Like I don't know if you guys saw the play,
I
right?
love my guy,
80,
Mo,
80,
man.
called, 80 called the ball. 80 called for the ball. And then Westbrook's like, what the hell? So he gave him the ball. And then he was like, yo, go corner.
He said go corner.
I
Westbrook-
did see that. I did
Westbrook
see
was
that.
pissed. Like it's
Newark-
just,
Newark-
it's just like if you're a ball dominant guard, you're gonna be like, bro, like what am I? It's like telling Ja, like, yo,
Get the hell out of my way.
yeah, just go stand corner for me.
I don't love that.
Like-
Like,
like-
I said, the situation was never gonna
I can't
work.
lie, Lakers are must-watch TV because they're hilarious. I think
But I'm not the first one to say that, but I had like 10, 15
they're
people
must-watch
say
TV.
Like, yo, you watching the Lakers game right now? I'm like, nah, bro, leave me alone.
Yeah,
With
man.
that-
The Lakers, they sitting here at 0-3, they're going on their first road trip
Yeah,
of
we
the
got
year.
we got Nuggets tomorrow. Reports is Westbrook's not gonna play. Injury. I'm hoping it's a trade in the works. We'll see what happens.
Damn, to trade this early in the year, that'd be definitely shocking, of course.
No, I wish. I hope. There's a couple tanky teams. They love those first round picks.
Definitely. Wait, you guys are thinking about giving up that 27 and 29?
But at this point, I feel like Bron's gonna push Pelinka to do it, and Pelinka's gonna fold again. it's gonna F us up in the later on, but it is what it is. The Lakers are a team be like, hey, we sell everything, get a ring. It's hey, we won, Hey, add on to the banner. But I feel like this was gonna happen.
That's very true. But I think we've done enough bashing on the Los Angeles Lakers. I think we definitely need to address another team. You guys might have some fun with this one. The Brooklyn Nets and Ben Simmons. I know you guys have some thoughts on that. So
hey, first off, I just want to tell you the way Ja was toying with Kyrie, it's not even funny, bro. People say Kyrie, another point guard that I have Ja over. I just want to bring that up. Another point
Kyrie
guard.
gave him 30 though. He actually gave him 37.
Ja wasn't guarding him late fourth quarter.
Ja gave 38.
38.
Yeah, they matched up.
They won at it, so I'm gonna give Kyrie respect because they really needed him that fourth quarter. He showed up big time for them. KD was, involved.
KD had 37 as well.
He had 37, but he was
Bane had 38 himself.
Hey,
that's just not real though. A guy like Desmond Bane dropping 40
I mean, but
points.
he had like 8 threes, so we know he's a shooter.
Yeah,
he's a shooter.
This Brooklyn Nets team, I can't lie. The Nets right now, they're looking like a very it's a very concerning for a basketball team, just simply because of their defensive identity. They don't have a defensive identity. They're not good on that side of the ball. And Ben Simmons has looked,
asked me to go.
Ben Simmons has been pretty much terrible all season. It's been about I think 3 or 4 games. He cannot score the basketball. We knew that coming into this year. He can facilitate the basketball, but like, how good is that when you have 2 guys that can go create their own shot? Like KD, he's worked off ball in Golden State, and Kyrie, he's worked off ball with LeBron James. Like those guys we know those guys can get a bucket at any given time during the game. So like, you being the facilitator, you're only really helping out guys like Nick Claxton and Royce O'Neal and a little bit of Joe Harris. But this team defensively, man, they don't play defense whatsoever. For Desmond Bane to get 38 points, John Morant's going to get his. I respect that. But Desmond Bane cannot drop 38 on your head. Like that's just insane to me. So this team, I know they've been trying to like keep it on the low and try to like, uplift Ben Simmons without having to portray it to the media and stuff like that. But I know they're frustrated in that locker room, but they're just riding it out right now just because it's early on. And of course his conditioning, being in game and practice is 2 completely different things. But this Nets team, if they don't make a move for a big man, I don't know what assets they got to go grab a big. I just don't see this team, really contending. Even
it's just like that lineup of having 3 7-footers on the court at the same time is just like, you can't, like, my thing is, right, how can you like work with Ben Simmons? Like, you don't adjust your roster for your 3rd best player. You do that for your best player and maybe your 2nd best player. You don't do that for your 3rd best player, right? People are telling him, well, let's move a shooting big. Let's get a shooting big for Ben Simmons, and let's do this for, like, this is Ben Simmons, dude. This is not KD, and it's not Kyrie. Like, you adjust your lineup for those guys. It's not LeBron, right? You adjust shooters. You put shooters next to LeBron. It's not, who is Ben Simmons to deserve all this stuff, right? And Nick Claxton's been good. Nick Claxton, if you guys watch these games, Nick Claxton has actually been very, very solid. He's a nice switch big. Defensively, he's been moving his feet, and offensively, he's been catching lobs and finishing his layups, and he's running on transition. So he's doing his job. But it's just like, you put him next to Ben Simmons, who's also a non-shooter, and it's like, how valuable is just passing the ball? Like you mentioned, KD and Kyrie can get their own buckets, of course, but how valuable is it if a guy's just literally just pressing X? That's all Ben Simmons does for this team. He presses X. That's all. That's literally the value. That's all the value that Ben Simmons brings to his team right now. And defensively, he hasn't been what we are expecting him. And it's like, my thing that pisses me off is just like, it's not gonna get better from here. What indicates this? This is who Ben Simmons has been for the last year. This is who he is ever since the last year and a half in the Philadelphia. This is who Ben Simmons is. So I don't see a situation where Ben Simmons is going to get better at the sport automatically, where he's going to start driving. He doesn't look at the basket. So
I agree with you on that, Abdi. But at the same time, for me, it's like, even if you take out Ben Simmons from this offense and just remove from the team, it's the same identity as last year. Like, what's changed for them? It's the same thing this year. It's like, hey, Kyrie, KD. Kyrie, KD. There's no offensive schemes. There's no
That is a big. I can't lie. Steve Nash is just. I don't know why he's
Steve
still
Nash
coaching
is
this team.
like there's no adjustment from him.
I don't know why Steve
I
Nash is
always
still
get-
coaching this team, right? I
I'm not
literally
gonna lie.
don't know why Steve
At
Nash is
all.
still coaching this team because it's like this offense is still predicated around yo KD, go get me a bucket, yo Kyrie, go
Kyrie,
get me
give
a
me a
bucket.
bucket.
That's it. And maybe Joe Harris, yo, come around the screen. Patty Mills, maybe come around the screen, and that's
Maybe
it.
come on
And
the
then
screen,
click, make
down
last
screen
and catch a
here.
lob. There's no like offensive identity outside of just I get a bucket, you get a bucket in this offense, and Ben Simmons maybe press X. That's it. So,
That's it.
so
Like really, that's it. Like if you look at the numbers with KD and Kyrie off the court, drastic. It's horrible numbers for them. So it's like other than
especially
that, like,
with KD getting off the court. When KD gets off
KD
the
getting
court,
off the
these
court,
guys struggle. These guys struggle.
struggle.
I know
big.
you guys remember the game against the Pelicans when Kyrie was struggling. It was bad whenever KD stepped off the floor because they could not score in any like way. If they
Any
ever had
type of way.
KD and Kyrie off the court,
It's bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. So I'm questioning, like we questioned Steve Nash last year, although we really did get on KD, Kyrie's head, feel like these guys didn't play too well. But we did question Steve Nash, and this year is just you bringing back the guy. He's doing the same things again. There's no adjustment. He doesn't know what he's doing on the coach. It's like, hey, I got 2 top 12 players on my team. Whatever they can do, they can do. If we can win with that, we can win with that. But it's not a good direction to head to. So Steve Nash, I feel like it's panic button on him. I really believe the Nets should fire him. They should have fired him in the offseason, but that's all I got to say about the Nets.
Let's go ahead and let's move on to the team that traded away Ben Simmons, the Philadelphia 76ers. I believe they started off the year 0-3 as well, and they just got their first win the other night at home playing the Indiana Pacers. James Harden had his fun. You know, those 2 games where he was dropping 30.
Actually, he just had an amazing game again for that win last game, by the way.
He cooked up against the Pacers.
Yeah, he had another nice
yeah,
game.
but
29.
what happened when he? Okay, this is the Pacers we're talking about, though. Like,
I mean,
you know?
the first 2 games were against contenders, though. So I mean, he was great against the contenders, struggled against the Spurs, and then this 4th game again, he was good against the Pacers. I feel like the 76ers, like they're not really panicking because a report came out from Doc Rivers, like I believe after the 2nd game where he mentioned that Embiid had a foot injury. What's that foot injury that Dragic had? Plantar fasciitis or something like that. That foot injury. So they mentioned that Embiid had that foot injury, and that's what he's been dealing with. Because Embiid literally, we're not gonna sit here and act like he came out to the season start looking well. These first like 3 or 4 games, the guy's conditioning has been terrible. He's literally been a slob on the court. With all due respect, the guy's just been puffing and puffing by the 3rd quarter. So I mean, the Sixers, I expect them to get better a little bit going forward, but there's one particular issue I've had. Maxey, I don't know how they're going to get this guy involved in the offense right now. It's like they're very, very stagnant with this
I
team.
say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what I said. Remember? That's what I said when we were talking about the standing predictions. He sometimes when he
It's
doesn't.
a Doc Rivers effect, though. That's another guy.
It is a Doc Rivers effect, but sometimes, like, you know, when they get into the games and Harden and Embiid are touching the ball a lot, Maxey tends to stay away from that. They flies out to the corner and just stays corner. He doesn't get his look. So I said that beginning of the season, I do really want him to get involved with the game more. I feel like it's a sky to the moon for him if he touches the rock a lot. So
what do you guys think about this? So somebody raised this question about Joel Embiid because, of course, he played with Ben Simmons for years. Somebody mentioned they feel like this guy had to adjust his game to fit Ben Simmons, right? And because now he has a real point guard in James Harden, at least someone that's an elite playmaker, like Embiid doesn't, like, I don't know if you guys watch these games, but like Embiid doesn't do like typical big man stuff in terms of like what guys like Capella and Gobert and like natural centers do, right? Or Pirtle in terms of like setting screens and catching lobs and rolling to the basket. It feels like Embiid's starting to develop a bit of that Anthony Davis syndrome. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like this guy kind of settles a lot more than expected. He's trying to foul bait. It's like he doesn't do the basic stuff that a big man's doing. And maybe I'm overreacting a bit, but that's what I've kind of assessed so far with Joel Embiid and Harden these last like 5-6 months that they've been together. So
yeah, I don't think you're overreacting. I'm definitely thinking the same thing. I've watched a lot of Sixers basketball this last week, pretty much every game. Joel Embiid, I'm not too sure if it's because of his conditioning and he's not, being up to speed, whether it's that injury you just mentioned. I was ready to come on here and bash him, but I don't think I could do that anymore. But regardless, when Joel Embiid has the ball at the block, he's pretty much unguardable. It's a bucket 99% of the time, or he's getting fouled. So you're getting points. But I mentioned this after opening night. Shaq mentioned it, and I mentioned it in our episode last week. He just he lets guys push him around out of his position. And then once he gets pushed out, he's literally out around the free throw line, edge to edge. And then he's just settling for a jumper. I just feel like he's just not being aggressive enough, and he's not asserting his dominance, because in that very last game when they got a win against the Pacers, there was moments where he was getting down, he was getting the ball at the block, and he would just quickly go and get a bucket. Like the Pacers had no answer for him. But then again, there's moments where he's just getting the ball at the free throw line, and then, like you mentioned, he's trying to either foul bait or he's just trying to pull up for a jumper. And then, of course, if it's a miss, just barely jogging back. So I'm just gonna have to put it on his conditioning. I just feel like he's just not he's not in shape right now.
Like
Of course, he's gonna play his
that
way.
Milwaukee Bucks game was just tragic. Like if you're watching that game, this guy like Brook Lopez would block him, and it felt like it was a 4-on-5 every single time the Bucks got down the court. So like it might be a conditioning thing, but like Embiid's got to be better, man. The guy's huffing and puffing.
Yeah, sometimes the thing is with Embiid, when he doesn't put effort, when he's not putting his best effort in the game, like you could physically see it, like you could really see it, like he doesn't care. So it's gonna be a lot of 5-on-4s, and like Doc Rivers is not gonna pull him out. It doesn't, because he's just gonna play his best guys, and he's hurting the team at some points. Like against this San Antonio Spurs, there's this one clip where like somebody shot a jump shot, and like Embiid was down there with Pirtle. And like
That
Pirtle was the
happened a
first
lot
guy.
fourth quarter, by the way. Like a lot fourth quarter.
Yeah, in a game against the San Antonio Spurs, the team that has nothing to play for, like you're not putting your best effort out there. Like Pirtle's fighting. You had inside positioning, then you let him get the inside positioning and the putback. So it's just really his conditioning, and more so Embiid's effort. And if he's really trying to win these,
Can I say something?
to really be dominant. Yeah, go ahead.
It is, but a lot of the effort for me, man, it doesn't look there. A lot of the time, he's standing at the free throw line, he's standing at the wing, even with smaller guys on him. He doesn't want to post them up, and it's kind of reminded me a lot of how Towns played last year. I feel like a lot of these bigs are, they want to step outside more. They want to play outside the block and more, not inside the block. Maybe they don't like to be physical. Maybe he's not in shape, but at the same time, man, you got smaller guys on you. Go bang on the block. You cannot go against the Spurs and not take more than 4 shots in the paint. That's kind of embarrassing to me. Like we question Towns every single week, talking about, hey, why are you playing soft? Why are you scared to go to the block? We got to keep it the same with Embiid. We compare him to Jokic, and Jokic, he a different breed. He ain't play soft. He gonna bully people. So I want to see that from Embiid. Well, I feel like he has to be the 1A on the team instead of Harden. Although Harden been cooking these past couple games, I feel like Embiid has to be the number 1 guy on the team.
The one thing I do want to talk about that one thing I want to bring up about Embiid, man, this guy's passing is terrible. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, it was better.
Jokic.
It was better last year, but it's just like there's times where he gets, especially like if you remember the Celtics game, it's just like these guys were harassing him, and he, like, his decision making was just terrible. It's like sometimes when he gets into that post, it's like he's indecisive. It's like either bully the guy and try to get the bucket quick or kick it out. But it's like he gets stuck in between that. And it's like when he gets doubled, he struggles a lot with it.
Yeah, this is what really separates him and Jokic. Like his playmaking bag is pretty much 0 to none. Like he can't hit the right guys, and he's just turning over the ball a lot. And like it's not a good watch. But Embiid, I think the Sixers, him and James Harden, they're, I feel like they'll be okay. It's still early on in the season, but the one thing I do, of course, I always bring up is their depth. They don't have the depth. I don't know what Big H was rambling about, comparing depth between the Nets and the Sixers. It's just as bad. But Tyrese Maxey, of course, he has to, elevate his game a little more, and I feel like he'll do that. But the Sixers team sitting here at 1-3, starting off the year 0-3, that's just, it's unacceptable for a team that's, looking to, turn some heads this year. But moving on from the Sixers, let's go ahead and get into these rookies. We've had a lot of interesting rookies, a lot of good rookies put up interesting performances. Paolo Banchero, Benedict Mathurin, who else? Jaden Ivey. I think that's pretty much just Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray stepped up. It's been interesting to watch these guys, man. I gotta say.
Jabari Smith had a good game the other day too.
I'm not a like I'm be straight up. I'm not a big fan of Jabari Smith's
I
game.
feel like they
Like,
have a lot of talent on that team, and he's just like he's there.
the thing is though, like when I watch like certain like players, right? Like Jabari Smith, I think he's gonna be a guy that's a very high level starter on a contending team. Like his type of profile, right? He's a 6'10,
Mhm.
6'11 power forward. He's very switchable. Like he's amazing defensively at the point of attack. He's pretty solid on the back end in terms of rim protection. He's not going to be an anchor. And then of course he's an elite shooter. But it's like you watch a guy like Paolo, right? Or you look at Mothrin or like all these other rookies, and it's like they have that certain if factor that I just don't see with Jabari Smith. And of course it's early on, but I don't know. Like Paolo's just been ridiculous. Like
Paulo been hooping. Oh, been
I wish
hooping.
I wish Chet was playing this year. Man.
Man, get out of here with
I-
that,
man.
man.
I
It's the
wish-
number one overall pick we're talking about here,
I
man.
wish Chet was playing, but
You're talking
Yeah,
about Chet.
Paulo's been ridiculous. But of course, Mothrin, that's like he's been special. Like in terms of his shot creation, coming to this draft, what was drafted at 7th, I believe. And it's just like he went under the radar even at 7. It's like people knew that he was a scorer, but to this level, it feels like he's literally bullying grown men. In his rookie year, the way he finishes, the way he gets his shot off, his athleticism, and it's not long. And I'm not a fan of the Pacers bringing him off the bench, but we know Hield is going to get traded at some point, so of course he's going to get his start. So, he might be the rookie of the year, but Keegan Murray's another one that needs to get start. He needs to start games, man. They don't start him. They start, I think, KZ Akbala and some other guys. So I'm saying, like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense what these franchises are doing. I know Buddy Hield, he's not going to be around past the trade deadline, of course. So,
yeah,
but I think they got to move forward and with Benedict Mothrin right now. Like,
Yeah.
he's playing at a tremendous level. His motor is just insane because like there's a
Crazy.
couple of plays against Philly where he got a bucket, he stole the ball, got another bucket. So, but Paulo, man, my rookie of the year pick once again, he hit the ground running at the start of the season. The one thing I just like about that guy is how resilient he is. Of course, like he gets the ball. It doesn't matter if he misses. He's coming back down. He's looking to attack. He's looking to score. But the one thing I'm very, very impressed with is his playmaking. He has a little bit of a playmaking bag. I know he had that in college, but it wasn't really at a high level. But right now, I feel like he's just he can rebound. He can score on all 3 levels. He can get to the line. But his playmaking is kind of what's elevating him at a higher level right now. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing. But Big H, who'd you pick for rookie of the year though?
Who did I pick? Did I say Paulo?
might have been Keegan.
Was it? I think I picked Keegan.
Yeah.
Keegan,
The
right?
The thing is, like, if
I
Keegan
want to speak
gets some
about Jaden
starts-
Ivey though. I want to talk about Jaden Ivey. He been.
Oh, did I mention Jaden Ivey? I think I did.
I want to talk about it, bro. 17, 6 and 6, shooting 50% from the field, shooting 45% from 3. Amazing on that team.
No, he's hooping 100%.
He's hooping right now. He's really hooping with Kate Cunningham in that backcourt. So they're 1-3, but a lot of interesting games for them. But they got a lot of development for them. Keegan Murray is another guy I picked. He's a phenomenal hooper. I feel like he's fitting right into that system. What's the Kings record right now? 2-2 or 3-1?
Have they really won games?
Have they?
I can't think of
I
think
don't-
of a game they won.
I really don't think they won a game.
I think they're.
I know they got more wins. Nope, they're 0-3.
Yeah, I don't think they got to win. De'Aaron
thought
Fox
they had more wins with the
De'Aaron
Lakers.
Fox has been
De'Aaron Fox has
cooking.
been hooping though.
Hey, De'Aaron Fox
Gotta
is
give it
hooping,
to
man.
him.
31 points per game, but Keegan Murray's right behind him. 17, 5.
No,
I think
Keegan-
that trade worked out for both teams, man.
I feel like it
Tyrese
was-
Halliburton,
Yeah, it
he's
did.
averaging 25 and I think 9 or something right now. So,
Yeah.
I
but-
think it's pretty much a successful trade.
Jaden Ivey and Keegan Murray, those 2 rookies for me, man. Interesting rookies. I like Jaden Ivey.
Ano- another interesting one who's been playing solid for Portland, Shaden Sharp.
Shaden
another
Sharp
one.
too.
Shaden
Yeah, that's
Sharp's a
another
very
guy.
like I wasn't expecting him to come to the rotation and even in limited minutes.
Anthony
be solid.
Simmons and Dame,
Yeah.
leading that backcourt. And he's getting
Exactly.
a lot of minutes and he's hooping too. So
Watch out for that boy Dyson Daniels.
Hey,
he got his
this-
minutes. He got his minutes tonight. He
hey,
was
this
clamping.
rookie class, man. This rookie class, low key.
Kind of impressive. It's hilarious.
not
So
good.
the one guy that's just garbage, Johnny Davis, Washington.
Yo,
I don't
Johnny
know.
Davis, bro.
That guy even exists.
Yo, does he
He
even
doesn't
play?
get minutes. He doesn't get minutes. He doesn't.
That's sad. Well, they picked him at the 10th pick too, right? If I'm correct.
Like
It was definitely a lottery pick.
it was a
so,
lottery pick.
Yeah.
Man, that's just sad. That is just sad.
What about early MVP picks so far, or at
For
least
me-
front runners?
Two
Front
guys,
runners.
three guys for me. Ja, Tatum, Dame.
I mean that is
No
the
order.
three,
No
though.
order though. No order.
That is the 3. I can't lie.
That's the three right now.
If you had to pick one,
I
though,
can- I can throw Curry in there because he's been hooping through the last 4 games.
but if you had to pick
Yeah.
one out of those guys, though,
I'm gonna pick one.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna take Dame. I really think I'm gonna take Dame. And Portland's sitting at
Mm.
4-0 right now. He's leading that team, and they would.
This one's tough.
They've
I
been
can't-
winning a lot of those games. But Tatum, right? Is Tatum's right
it
there,
might be
man.
Tatum. I might go
Just-
Tatum.
Offensively,
and defensively.
and defensively, he's looking like one of the best right now. It's
Yeah.
just points on board. Like we talked about.
And then, we haven't even mentioned Luca as well.
Luka's
Luka's been
too.
playing crazy.
Oof. He's been playing crazy too. There's a lot of people, man. Luka, Ja, Tatum, Dame,
No, they've
Curry.
all been.
Curry's right there. They all
Nah,
been, but it's only.
I gotta-
It's
I
only.
gotta- Haterness aside, my bias aside, I gotta say Ja Morant MVP right now.
Mm.
I gotta say he's right now at the level he's playing at. Regardless of whether or not it's regular season Tuesday night in Detroit, it doesn't matter. He's putting up crazy numbers.
It's must-watch basketball. Yeah, people don't realize that. Like,
You ain't gonna lie, that guy's a highlight reel.
if y'all seen
Like-
like the court side the other day at Memphis when the Nets were in town.
They're shooting
Come
dice.
on now, they're shooting dice. Moneybag Yo and the boys, they're shooting dice on the court. I gotta pull up to Memphis one time and watch the game.
Bruh,
man. It's
somebody on
must-watch.
Twitter said the Memphis Grizzlies are going to be the first NBA team to get hit with a RICO case. Come on, man. That's just not real. But
Hey,
Um,
I haven't missed the Memphis game this year, bro. They've been very excited to watch. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, I mean, outside of that game against Dallas, where they're coming off a back-to-back, where he dropped 49 in Houston, he's pretty much dropped 34 plus, alongside close to 7+ assists. So I think he's right now number one, and then of course Jason Tatum right behind him, and I think I'd put Luka at 3. Steph Curry really didn't play too well tonight, so.
Don't forget Dame, man.
Dame though, like Dame's been incredible.
Oh man, yeah, dude.
Come on now.
Dame's
Come
been
on.
incredible. And
He's
it's
the
like-
last, and he's
and
the
the
last
thing-
remaining 4-0 team.
And the thing is
Yeah,
about
he-
Dame, it's like
oh.
not even just like, bro, he looks the healthiest he's ever been. Like
Nah, he
looks
locked
very
in.
quick. He looks
He locked
quick.
in.
And defensively, he's been solid. If you watch these games, Dame's been
He locked
amazing.
in, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That guy been hooping. For me, Dame's number one. I'm putting Dame at 1. I ain't gonna lie.
I'll
If-
put
yeah,
I'll put him
that's
at
fair.
2. I'll put him at
That's
2.
fair.
I'll
If you-
slide
on this
Tatum
record,
down.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. This Portland team though, they built
They're sneaky.
built
They're
something
sneaky,
like
right?
they're a sneaky team. Of course,
Hey, bro, people.
it's kind of similar to what they had, but at the same time,
I feel like this is much better than.
it's
what
more
they had.
defenders. Like you got Josh Hart that can defend.
Because
got
like this,
Justice
the
Winslow that
best
can
wing, the
defend.
best wing they've ever given Dame was Aminu.
Hey, people sleep on
Come on,
Nurk too.
man.
Hey, people sleep on. I can't even pronounce his first.
Don't
name.
say Nurkic. He's
Yusuf
he's
Nurkic?
trash. He's
Yeah,
trash.
No,
Hey.
he's garbage. I
He's
think
garbage.
Portland fans can even
Like
agree with
yes,
me on
yes,
this one.
yes.
I hate
thank
him?
you.
Yeah,
They hate
no,
him.
Portland
They hate
fans
him.
hate
Portland
him.
I don't know.
fans
I don't know. I
Gosh.
don't hate him. I don't know why. I
That
don't
guy's
hate him.
terrible.
I
Like,
don't hate him. I don't know. But
Like,
He's
at
not
least-
playing good at
like
all.
at
He's
least
averaging
before,
11 and 12
yeah,
right
he's
now.
terrible. The Portland fans used to give him
like a
excuses because he had
Skip
nice
Dawson.
touch. He doesn't even have touch anymore. That guy's garbage.
doesn't touch, no. I
See,
don't know.
if they could get like a guy like a Miles Turner, at least like an anchor defensively, right? Someone that at least can block shots and hold down the paint. Portland would be a sneaky team. They'd
Nah,
be a great team.
Miles Turner is an NPC, bro.
It's an upgrade on Nurkic, man.
I don't think he's good at all, bro. He worried about Legos and Tuesday night Taco Tuesdays, and I don't know if he's involved in the game like that.
Nah, I'm just looking at this team, and I was watching the other night against Phoenix, and of course against the Lakers. Man, these guys, like Dame, of course he's a superstar of that team, and then you move on from CJ McCollum, and you slot in a guy like Anthony Simmons who's balling out, and then you add in defenders, guys that could never really play defense. Josh Hart, Jerian Grant, and like Justice Winslow, and like. This is all without Gary Payne. Gary Payne hasn't played a
Oh, I
single minute
forgot
this
about
year.
him too.
Bro, I
So
forgot
imagine
that.
when they throw him in the mix, and of course he's gonna take some minutes from Dame, but like he's gonna give Dame a breather. But he's a hell of a defender. He's a high flyer. He can score at the basket.
And then of course you mix in Shaden Sharp. He's gonna get more
Yeah,
comfortable.
this
Anthony
team is
Simmons?
definitely a very, very sneaky team, man. Like they have, I feel like this is Dame's probably best team that he's had in Portland throughout his entire career. It might be crazy to say, but I really believe so.
I don't know. Some of those Marcus Aldridge teams are kind of nice. So Marcus
Dame,
Aldridge and
Marcus
Batum.
Aldridge, Batum. They had a little Wes
Although
Matthews.
Wes Matthews.
Wes Matthews.
Kinda
Nah,
nice
I
team.
never.
Man,
I don't know. I don't think it's
you
as
don't
nice
wasn't
as
bad.
this
They
right
wasn't
now.
You remember
They
that
wasn't
Houston series where Dame hit that game winner walk off to end it?
Yeah.
That was
That-
against James Harden, right?
James Harden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you could have just said the Houston Rockets, but okay.
Man, hey, those old
So
Portland
random.
teams, man. Even going back to like Brandon Roy back in the day, like
They're
2008.
sneaky, but this is like
Sneaky little
in
team.
terms of like wing defenders, like they finally give Dame some actual like defenders on this team. So
Mhm.
that's what's up, man.
I think that's pretty much it for the NBA scene. We'll probably get into it more in a later episode. Any final words before we sign off here?
See us rise, baby. 5-3. Seattle's on the way.
Yo, don't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers pulls one out against Josh Allen.
I know deep down you don't believe that, man. Stop it.
Yeah, don't be
Yo.
surprised.
Stop it, bro.
Pray for that to happen, bro. He's praying.
He's gonna be praying all night for that one. But looking forward to another week of football, of course. And now that we have basketball, something that gets us through the week. Some entertaining hoops that's on right now. And of course, we're gonna be here to talk about it all. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We greatly appreciate it if you like, commented, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, all of our social media handles will be in the beginning of this video. And if you're listening on YouTube, on Spotify and Apple, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now late, now that's overkill.